So we just put in a respect. I think it was about 4 years ago. I was at a meeting of the Prince Council of the Archdiocese of New York because I was representing West Southwest District at the time. And the call that mentioned something about that in where when he grew up in St. Louis, which at the same time as myself, certainly, I wouldn't put anyone else in that same period, but that same period, the churches were the center of the community. People recognize the community, especially among Catholic communities, the parish they belonged to, and the parish was not just the spiritual center, which there were many activities for youth as well as anyone had the issues go to church, the pastoral advice, whether it was the health of at that time. And on the time that I was reflecting on the possibility of trying to reestablish that connection. Then about 2 years later, the president director of which was in opposition, Bishop Whalen approached me and thought about conflict about it. I said, well, I'll keep it on that thing. He said, oh, what the idea? And then actually we had the opportunity to seriously consider that. And within the last 6 months or so, Mr. Diocese ourselves, Mr. Stephen and I, we met several times to flesh out a little bit about what that would be, what that would involve. We had the confidence, it's a place where we might want to expand services through the parish as part of this. Consider ourselves and the village of Elmsford is an essential part together on almost all occasions, and so we benefit from each other. To expand that and to reach out to other partners who help us to provide services. So yes, we like nevertheless, like shortly formally announced by our science and the direction of the Passion Center. Some of the areas is they work in terms of reaching out to those partners.
Thank you, Father. Thank you so much.
And then if you just keep it in front of, because that goes to the EV thing.
It's fine first.
If it's not up.
Oh, it's not on.
Let's do the button.
Is it on now?
It's
So good evening. Thank you so much, Mayor, and everyone else for inviting us. I'm Vera Galeas. Originally from Costa Rica. I came to the country when I was 11, or I'm going to say preteen. And so I can understand what our teens and teenagers are going through right now. And I started working for the Archdiocese for the past 34 years. I work in many capacity, pastoral associate and director of diversification with Father John Morici, now the Bishop of Westchester. And I was asked to come and do a study on the community of Elmsford, Greenberg, and other towns to see what were the needs. And after having several meetings for the past 6 months, we came up with a startup group of programs that will be targeting pre-K faith formation, teen and preteen youth programs that not only would be sitting them around a TV and playing, but teaching them how to do better in school, what better high schools to choose versus the other ones, colleges and so on. We have a curriculum written down for them. It will be completely free thanks to Our Lady of Mount Carmel. And we also connected to Cornell Nutrition Department, and they're coming in to do children and adults nutrition. as well as CSL. But the other area that was very much needed in the community was mental health for the family. Children, teenagers, adults, and seniors. And so we connected with this program called Dorset. They are connected to the Catholic Charities. They will be stationed at the Pastoral Center once a week, starting October. And then, in addition to that, the New York Seniors Department and New York Youth Westchester Department was looking for a place where they can do arts connected to mental health. You know, the teens love to do a lot of things hands-on where they can express their feelings. We're getting the first 8 to 10 week program at the Pastoral Center starting in November. And we're also having a program for arthritis and adults called clay therapy. All this will be offered for free thanks to the grants that we're getting from the Archdiocese of New York. And in addition to that, we have after-school programs coming in the spring, which it will be open to the community. And one of the things that Father, Sister, the Bishop, and all of us agree on is just because it's out of Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church doesn't mean that it's only for Catholics or participants of the church. It will be open to everybody in the community. There are many other programs. I have a packet ready. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it out of the printer, but I will mail it to you so that you could pass it on to everybody. Our building that Sister left is in beautiful condition, but we basically are working out of her old desk and 2 chairs, which is great. I'm used to doing that. And once the construction starts happening, which will be at the end of the year, after it's over, it will be a beautiful building. Officially, tomorrow morning, I'll become the executive director of the Pastoral Center, helping the Pastoral Center come up as well as helping the church and the Department of Education, Religious Education, and the church enhance enrollment and participation. So please feel free, once we get all my information out there, I'll be sure to pass it on. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you. I've attended a lot of your meetings. Thank you. And I've been bringing information back to the board. And this pastoral center is only the second one in the entire Archdiocese of New York. The first one is the only one is in the Bronx. And as Bob said, it's been for a lot of programs to the entire community where people come in and get help with immigration, they get help with legal services, they get help with medical services, they get help with Social Security and all kinds of different programs that will have different people, professionals in there to come in and answer questions. It's a really good thing that, so an honor that we were chosen, in Elmsford to have it. So,
It's a great gift. Yes, thank you.
any questions?
I don't want Sister Stephen to leave, but if she's okay with it, I'm okay.
Well, I'm okay with
I'd rather you come back.
100%.
Anybody, any questions? Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome to say, welcome to leave, whatever you don't have to say. You don't have to stay here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Second one on the agenda is to review the petition we got from Norwood Board Extension. We got numerous people had contacted us to let us know that people were speeding on Norwood Extension, and passing the stop sign in the corner of Norwood Extension and Ternessa Drive. The stop sign was put up, 5 years ago. We did a whole bunch of stop signs throughout the village. And so they've been here for a long time. So when we put the traffic counter down there, meanwhile, the speed limit is 30 miles an hour, that they had a high speed activity with the peaks of 41 to 50, and some vehicles were even going over 50 miles an hour between 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. and over 50 between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. The following day, same thing, between 6 and 8, elevated speeds the same, and it's still constantly going between 41 and 50 miles an hour. between 1 and 6 and 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. are the times where most people were running stop signs and speeding. So it brought to our attention, we went out there, we sent our staff out there to look at it, and they confirmed that. And there's been a lot of times that all of us were at functions at the country club, and we're standing there at a function, people point out, look, there goes another one, there goes another one, there goes the stop sign, so Trustee Corrales took lead, because he's a liaison to the police department, so we went up and looked at it and confirmed, he sat there and watched it, and saw that a lot of that activity is true. We notified the police commissioner, and he sent, a car up there a few times, and every time he sent a car there, everybody would seriously stop running the stop sign. Problem is, when you put them on Vanessa Drive to watch it, they stop because they see the police car. So there wasn't many tickets written, but he did report that over the years, for the last 5 years, that when the stop signs were put in place, that he did stop a lot of people and warn them because they're the neighbors of it. And since the stop sign was new, the police department, said, look, it's a new stop sign, stop running it, let you know it's here. So we took some action to alleviate that and get everybody's attention. What we want to say is that nothing is permanent and nothing is not permanent. If we put things temporarily to get people's attention and to bring awareness to it, then we can stop doing them. Or if they don't stop things, then we have to keep things permanently, because the ultimate safety of the village residents and everybody coming through here is our responsibility. So we did take some measures to hopefully alleviate that, and one of them was flashing lights on stop signs, and that proved to get everybody's attention, obviously. So we did take them down on Friday, because we saw that a lot of people now were stopping for the stop sign, so it did work. And now it's a question of speed pumps and some of the excess sign stuff, so they said we're going to relook at those to see if some of those can come down too, to make it a little bit nicer. But the key to it is safety. There's people out there walking, they're walking the children, walking dogs, the golfers, everybody, and even the people in cars. We do this all over the village. You'll see speed humps, you'll see all kinds of things, enforcement. But we always put the counter down, and if the counter comes under the speed limit, which a lot of people think they're speeding on the street, but they're not, because 30 miles an hour looks like you're going fast, but it's not. A lot of people on side streets ask us all the time, right? Almost every week we put the counter out to check in those streets, and the people aren't speeding. You might have one speeding over 30, and the rest aren't, but they think they are. But this was the opposite. Most everybody was speeding instead of being under. So in those cases, you tell people, sorry, here is proof that there is no violations going on there, so we don't do any action. But you do see other speed bumps throughout the village, and because those streets needed them. So, you want to follow up on anything?
No, once.
Thanks. Again, Trustee Krause, the lead, you did a good job, and pretty good job to, and so, like I said, we took the flashing lights down. We're gonna go up and with the highway and police department and check to see which signs aren't necessary. So we can eliminate some of that, if necessary, to, make it nicer, but still keep it in the program of making it safer. Any questions? We'll keep an eye on it and we'll get back to you. One Hay Street, the sign.
My name is Roberto Berta, I'm the friendly of sign in the team. We put like on broken sign, identification, aluminum, and the background is blue and the name very graphic of the
came in to open the visit.
Good evening, gentlemen.
How's it going?
Good, great.
Good? Oh, we told you what.
Yes.
Good for you. Trustee Lopez, okay, thank you, sir. Trustee Doyle?
I'm good. I'm just, is it Hayes or Haven?
Evening.
It's on Haven. Okay. Yes, I'm good.
Trustee Brown? All right, you all said, just making a comment with you.
We'll have the permit issued this week. I'll let you know when it's ready.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Before we're holding for a while. Number 5, review the body cams for the police department.
So it's under today's theme of good things take time. This is item number 1. So a while back, we had talked about, almost 2 years now, so about getting body cams. And then we got convoluted with a grant that was going on at the same time. And we ended up having to pull back a little bit because the body cams in themselves are too expensive with it's not the body cams, they're cheap. It's the storage, the licenses, and all that they go with it. So the grant came in, they started getting processed, and that became just equipment. We only spend money on equipment. That took a while, as it always does, to get through the state workings. And we finally got the approval now. The proposals that you have in front of you, which is from Axon, via the interstate contract, it's $173,000 and change, of which just short of $90,000 is for the equipment. And that equipment would be paid for by the grant. And then the rest of this is set up where this will be paid on an annual basis each year that's used over the next 4 or 5 years in the budget itself at $20,000. So our first year expenditure is 0. It's we have to spend the 80 and change, and then we'll get that back from the state, so we're net 0. And then budget year going forward, each budget will the 20,000 or thereabouts will be applied to the police department line that represents them. So recommending that you authorize us to enter this contract with Exxon and get these orders. Axon. Chief? Or Senator?
Yeah, you said it all, perfect.
Chief?
Mr. Mills, you got it all.
Yeah,
So long time coming and get it, I don't know how long it's gonna take to order. As soon as we approve it, that would go through tomorrow.
Mr. Mills, who's gonna do the training?
It's part of the
Out of the contract?
company, it's an Axon.
Mr. Mills, it's 3 months from when we signed the contract. That's when the equipment arrives, 3 months.
Trustee Lopez, okay, for you?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Doyle?
Yes.
Yeah. Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Update on the vehicle chargers, again, the old thing, we applied many years ago for vehicle chargers to put in the village.
To go with our theme this evening of good things take time. So we got involved in a program with the county. It's gotta be 2 years ago, maybe more. County is in partnership with Con Ed and
night shift, nights at or other power company, to provide electric vehicle charging stations in the village. So about 2 years ago, we looked at where could we use them, where does it physically fit and infrastructure wise fit. So there's two that are designed for Breland and Centennial Plaza right across from Westchester Tool Rental. And then there's also two on Elm Place, which really became a target because it's underused in terms of parking. And the infrastructure is right there, and that made it easy to get the power to it. So then we went through the process, the application of applying, and then we got approved originally. And then the company, the second piece of this, which is the INF Associates, they were selected by Westchester County to become the consultants to design this, and they got started. On doing that without getting paid by anybody. We're not almost every municipality is participating in this. And ours is one of the smaller projects. Irvington, for example, is doing 30 of these. So over the next year or so, the design was done, Ed was involved, that takes a lot more time. And then the county told everybody we gotta take a step back and redesign the whole program because of some standards changed in the equipment nationally and for the programs where money was coming out. So that then took another 6 months or so, I want to say, which brought us up to a couple months ago, where the county now got their program straightened out. They have to go through bonding for their money, which is taking time. There's municipal agreements, which the attorneys have now, and everything is ready to roll. So tonight, what we're asking you to do is approve the entering into an agreement with the county with attorney's final review, the INF for their 2 locations, and I also have how this is going to set up financially. If it's all done right, it's going to cost you nothing. Nothing's good. The only item on here, so you'll see I have them broken down into the 2 locations with their total cost. The amount that Con Ed is paying directly to INF in both locations. The village capital outlay. Then the reimbursement from the county, which is committed. And then the reimbursement from the NYSARDA, which is that possibly, it's 99% committed. Not everybody's getting that. We're one of I think 4 communities here in the county that's eligible for that. So all said and done, when those all get done properly, net cost is 0 to the village. And Tony, because when this all started, you were the one that raised your hand and said, look, did I add it? Well, you went to me.
I went to the meeting, you told me to.
Anything else to add?
No.
So that actually covers 6 and 7. Questions?
These new chargers, once they're up and running, what kind of maintenance do they require?
They will require maintenance. I can honestly tell you, I don't know the answer to that. I'm not that technical savvy on these. Most of the things that I hear, the plugins, possibly, they break, they have to be changed out. That's about the only thing that I've heard ever has to be done. Everything else beyond that is on the electrical side, which, we do have to maintain. They're not gonna be free, and eventually there'll be, which is another discussion you'll have at some point. There could be revenue coming to you from those, which would handle the maintenance or help with the maintenance. That's the best I can answer at this point.
But the revenue that you're talking about, is that revenue that customers have to pay in order to charge the car?
Yes. Yes. They gotta pay for two things, they gotta pay for the electric, and they gotta pay for space. Which you're getting at it. Where this potentially is a loser, is those spaces are gonna be dedicated, there's two spaces that are gonna be dedicated for electric vehicles at the plaza right now that don't have that. So you can't park your regular car there. So potentially there's time periods that we'll lose money because there would have been a non-electric vehicle park there. Which is, the realm of things probably small. I mean, you're gonna have to budget, each year, I think, for maintenance. And we'll find out what that is as we go along with this project. That's why you don't want 30 to start.
Question on the charger, the electric coming into the charger, who pays for that?
That is part of when you pay to use it, you're paying that fee.
Okay,
That includes the use and the electricity.
Okay.
And some places don't even charge for it, some places the municipality pays for it. I'm recommending you don't do that.
They didn't you know much.
Don't know the answer to that.
It's like turn the light on, you turn the light on, the meter starts turning, so you plug it in, start charging cars, whatever, however you want to charge.
Which you have to have an account or, kind of like our pay by phone type of thing, it's the way it's gonna work.
Trustee, this is okay, number 6 and 7 for the agenda?
Yes, sir.
This is the way it is.
yes,
Thank you. And trustee Perez?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I just had a question. Is there a separate contract for the acquisition of the chargers, some of the equipment itself? Is it through the IMA?
That's through this
Okay,
combination of this and then the county.
got it. Oh, I see.
Cablevision, it was called today, and Verizon, have to have cable franchise agreements in the community, so when their contracts run out, we review them, we join with a bunch of other communities of VLC to all be on the same page and get the same thing from them. Many years ago, when they first started, they used to give us a cable channel, equipment for it, and give us so many free stations for the schools and village hall, stuff like that. As they realize that so many people have them and they don't need to promote their business anymore, they most things away, but they still pay us a fee to have their agreement. So we've been working on this for years. Mike, you want to take us on Verizon?
So Verizon, it's kind of weird the way the federal law changed. They kind of control the whole negotiation grounds and playing rules and everything. And after, I want to say it's gotta be 4 years now. It might be 5 that they're behind schedule with us and behind with some other municipalities. So we actually got together with the DOC. I think it's Irvington, it's not all of them, it's us, Irvington, Tarrytown, Ardsley, maybe Slippy. So we ended up doing a consortium. They hired Dan Posen to do this for us. Dan was being paid separately by the group, not as our village attorney, but as our attorney for this negotiation. And eventually, we got to about 6 months ago where Verizon got serious. There were some changes made in it. We still get our franchise fee. There is still a small grant And there's also, free drops in locations which are attached to the fact of the agreement, which we need to go over, because I think some of them over the years became, paid for by people and or aren't there anymore. So we'll make sure that those will get done, because they include some of our buildings, they include school buildings, the firehouses. I don't think the school, but I think maybe, yeah, they might.
They use it.
We're gonna double check all of those, to ensure that those free drops are there and the services are being used. Not getting paid for. So finally, this is ready to go. Our next step is you have to have a public hearing, and we can either have that in October, November, whatever your schedule is good for. And then, after that, the agreements would be signed and back in place. Now, this is just Verizon, not cable. Cablevision comes up in a couple of years, and, there's been talk with the VLC to approach it the same way. Costs us next to nothing to do this.
Trustee Lopez, will set the public hearing for October 6th.
Yes, sir.
Questions?
Trustee Brown,
Yes, I asked you which ones.
October 6th. You have enough time for that?
Yeah.
As you see, the schools, public schools have been doing a lot of work on their facilities this year. And they put the roof on a Dixon, and they redid the wall, they redid the fence on top of the wall, and they're gonna put a guardrail up length of the property so nobody goes over the wall. I met with President Heck, he showed me what we kind of agreed, my colleagues agreed, where to put it. There's a telephone pole there. So it would be behind the telephone pole, so you'd still be able to park on the grass diagonally, and I will park either way. You park whichever way you want it to park. And then it would be a guardrail with some kind of decorative wood goes over it. Put that up to protect people from driving to the fence and going.
Yes.
Next meeting, one is October 6th. We are scheduled for November 10th. Everybody's so good with that? Yeah, that's what we had put down before.
So the next one is October.
6th, October 6th. Again, pre-planning, just make sure everybody's so good with it. November 10th.
That means today's the next day, maybe.
Third or 17th?
17th, same as Veterans Day next month.
Third or the 17th?
On election days of fourth. Yeah, I see it. It's fine.
Third is good.
November 3rd. And we had initially scheduled December 1st.
Yeah, going on trustee Rouse's idea, we shouldn't do that, we should need that December 8th, it's the tree laying.
That would be easy.
Some great.
December 8th?
Yeah, November Thursday. Thank you. He knows my schedule better than I do. Seventeenth. Motion to adjourn the work session?